Well, hello, and welcome to ZBrush Live. Real quick, just do all these things, all the internet stuff. And moving on, let's go ahead and get started. So I think today's going to be the last day of this project. Hopefully I'll do as much as I can, and I'm going to be starting on something new next month. But in the little bit of time I had between the last stream, I should check and make sure everybody can hear and see me okay, I guess. So yeah, please let me know on both services. It looks like we do have somebody on YouTube, and if you guys are on YouTube or Twitch or on Facebook and you can see and hear me okay, please let me know, so I can continue on. In the meantime, let me fix this to the right orientation. What is going on with that? Do we have focal shift at 0? All right, let's do that. Now, why was it 0? But it was creating something interesting. Yeah, a little happy accident there. Okay, so all right, so I guess the sound is at a good level. Didn't really make any changes to it, but cool. I'll take it. Thanks. So I guess we're doing good on YouTube. If we can get somebody on Twitch to chime in, that would be good too. And I think there's something kind of wrong with my camera. Let me fix that. Here we go. Let's do that. All right, so I'm still not hearing anything from our good friends at Twitch. If anybody on Twitch you can hear me okay, please chime in. Right, maybe they can't hear me on Twitch. That's not a good sign. Okay, good. Number one, sounds is good. Thank you for that. And I think if they're good on those two services, chances are really good that they are good on the other ones too. All right, or the other one. All right. So yeah, I basically, the sarcophagus that that our astronaut's going to find is going to be this. So I did a little bit of sculpting. I think I started this one with you guys, but it's basically, taking one of Vitaly's muscle thingies here, I think, or yeah, one of his muscle kit bash parts, and just kind of sculpting on it a little bit. And then this top part is just basically just an additional part, and just basically some really basic sculpting. If you get up close, you can kind of see a little bit of artifacting and whatnot. But realistically, we're going to be looking at it maybe at this distance at the closest. So I'm not too worried about it. I did some render tests on it, and I'll go ahead and bring that up on my Instagram. And if you folks are not following me on Instagram, please do. This number seems to be, I want this number to break 2,000. And every time I go and say, everybody join, it goes up to, it's gone even up to 1,982. And then for some reason it falls back down. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, if you guys are like my work, follow me on Instagram. Let's get this to 2,000. And my Instagram is just Instagram. Kermaco is the name. So if you just look for at Kermaco, Kermaco on Instagram, you can find me. So here's kind of a test render I did of it, and it looks pretty good. So I think we're happy with that. And so, yeah. So this is going to be the sarcophagus. And I figured, the alien is in here. Let me go ahead and turn on transparency so you guys can see it. Where are you? Okay, and then if we go down here, there is an alien creature inside, not this one. But we got, I think, two of them. This one right here, right? There it is. And then there's this one. And you know, just kind of in keeping up with some science fiction kind of tropes, I'm basically including this kind of suspended sphere over here. And this suspended sphere is kind of the entire life of this creature. You know, kind of, you know, if you think of it from a human perspective, it could be like videotapes of the person or movies of the person, or if they're a musician, maybe some of the records they've made or whatever. But this is some sort of a special kind of sarcophagus of some sort of alien race. So they have the kind of the preserved body in here of sorts. And they also have kind of a record of his life, and it's just suspended here in this kind of area up here. And also another thing I did is, I know I worked on the cave last time, but I ended up thinking that what I would need for the cave is to be able to go all the way around it. So I did a kind of a all the way around cave, and that's because I want to find one of many camera angles. So here we have our astronaut. Here we have the sarcophagus, and I don't know if this is where the astronaut's going to be. This is where it is now, and we're just going to leave it there. And I've got the sarcophagus here in a folder, and I've got the astronaut in a folder. I've got a box here, which basically is the space that ZBrush likes to work in. So this is kind of a unified cube. And inside it are all of these things. So the good thing about the cave being this way is I can kind of try some compositions. Oh man, I just noticed something I need to fix over here. I can try out compositions, and I can go at it from every angle. Okay, so, and if you guys are curious as to how I'm able to do that, it's just that this cave mesh here, I've got double off, so this is what it looks like, right? It's just basically this. But if I turn double on, double off, it's basically the normals are facing inwards, so I can only see the inside faces and not the outside faces. So I can kind of see this from here. And again, at the end, I'm not really going to, Keyshot does not, I haven't figured out, maybe it does, I don't know. But also, even if it does, there's artifacts that show up. But what I'm going to do is find some angles here in ZBrush. And then basically, just like movie sets, just remove panels, remove areas where I can put a camera and be able to see inside. And today, basically, it's going to be very little sculpting. And it's mostly going to be getting this kind of prepped and into Keyshot and getting some good kind of renders and the final composition out of it. Okay, so here I'm just going to go to the move brush. Let me do this while I'm thinking about it so it doesn't take up the whole screen. It gets distracting if it does. So let's go into there. And I think about there is good. Somehow I need to do this with the mouse for a second. I don't know why. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I just want to move this. I think I just kind of inadvertently pulled this somewhere, and I don't know if I have the undos to go back to it, so I'll just kind of make some adjustments. Now this is does have subdivision levels on it, so I'm going to start going up in subdivision levels to get it to make sure that this area is kind of okay, see, here you go. So some of that detail got bled into this lower subdivision level, but that's fine. And I'll go up another one like so. All right, I mean, it looks kind of okay. Kind of looks like it could be naturally occurring. I'll make a few adjustments here. It looks like I'm really kind of messing with the higher resolution details. I'm hoping they're going to come through fine. If they don't, I'll just resculpt it. And I don't even know if that's going to be an angle. It looks like it is. So I probably would need to do a quick kind of patch job there. And I probably have a version of this in my save files to go and find one that didn't have that problem. But even with the problem, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal to fix. It looks like this kind of high resolution detail is coming in okay. Let's see, what level are we on? 4. Let me just crank it up to 7. See what we get there. All right. So a good question. I'll get to it in just a minute. With the harden and soften edge. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I need to do a little bit of sculpting here. No worries, it's not that hard. I'll just bring up brush menu here, and let me drop this to 2 lines. And where are you? Here we are. And there we go. These brushes right here. And I think I used, there's a few of them that I used. Let me see if I can find them. These are Pablo's brushes, his Giger and Beksinski brushes that work really nice to create kind of an alien looking cave. And where are you? I think it was this one. Let's see. It was this one. And let me just make the brush size a little bit smaller. Maybe about there. It's too small. Here we go. All right, so you never know it. Right, so, okay. Howie is asking whether or not there's a harden and soften edge option in here. And kind of an interesting question. Let me go over to a, let's see what would be a good part to show them. I'll just start something new here. Let me see if there's a tool I can load in. Maybe the dog. Okay. So yeah, so you see how it's faceted now, and your question is there a way I could have it not be faceted? So there isn't a vertex control tool or a harden soften edge tool like what you have in Maya, but there is the option to do a dynamic subdivision, which basically if you press the D key, it will soften it all up. It basically is simulating subdividing it. So it's kind of the same thing and kind of not. And the good thing about this is that it's not permanent. So, you know, you can always hit Shift D and get back to the faceted view. So that's kind of how I would simulate it. However, if you were to want to load it into a game engine or whatever, and you do want to kind of get the soft edges and whatnot and have to figure it out, I don't know if there's a shader that'll do it. Let's see. I want to say, let's see if this does it. No. Yeah, it's nothing I've really had to do before, and so I don't really, I haven't really looked it up, but, you know, I wouldn't really do it that way. I mean, ZBrush gives you the capability to have millions of polygons, and you just do that, subdivide it, and then you basically apply the normal map to the mesh. And then you can soften it, let's say, in Marmoset or in some other tool. All right, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for, and we don't need the dog anymore. We can delete it. Okay. And the other thing I wanted to do here was, well, let me get back to what I was working on. Nope. Yeah, there, the cave. Yeah, so the cave has 7 subdivision levels on it, and I want it to be really detailed because we're going to go and kind of do some work there. It kind of does show up here, you know, now that I'm looking at it, it does look like a circle. Let me turn on double, see if I can fix it from the back. Yeah, it still looks like there's a dent here, but it could very well be a occurring thing. So I just drop it down in subdivision level a few times. I don't need this anymore either. Okay, so where are we at? Let's go to 4. Let's go to even 3. And then I'm just going to gently pull this out. And let me see if I can get a nice smooth transition from one plane to the next. All right, yeah, the cave kind of looks cool without without it being on both sides. All right, so there it is. Now, the other thing I also want to do is, yeah, there is the astronaut and there is the sarcophagus. I just kind of put the sarcophagus here because I thought it would be kind of a good resting place for it. So they basically brought it through the tunnels here, kind of pointing down, and then hit it here. Maybe it's some sort of a kind of a hidden tomb or something like that, or some sort of a, you know, some sort of a storage place or whatever. Maybe some sort of a catacomb or something like that. And what I want to do is I want to also have some other tombs around here as well. So this would kind of be the star one, and then there would be other ones. Just like, you know, if you look at an Egyptian tomb, there could be other coffins and other things around. So for that, I'm just going to use this over here, which is way too big. Let me see. I want to make sure it's unified. Where are you? Unify. There it is. And what I want to do is I want to put this. I created a little area over here of the. I think the best thing to do is show that with the cave on. So there's the cave, and let's go to it. So I just basically made this, and I'll turn polyframe on so you can see it. So I just kind of duplicated the cave at a lower subdivision level and cut out parts of it and just zero meshed it to get like some sort of a grid on the ground where I can put stuff. And this is where I'm going to kind of disperse those other tombs that basically look like this. And these were kind of initially, when I was working on the sarcophagus, these were initial ones that I worked on, and I've got renders of them here on Instagram. So they would look something like this. Maybe they won't have the alien in them, and they'll be opaque. But, you know, and I do have some opaque ones down here too. I think, yeah, so I could, you know, make them opaque like this or whatever, but they would be more on the ground. All right, so to do that, I'm just going to solo this and just have this be like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and with the brush menu, just go ahead and I think I've done one already, kind of it pointing this way. Excuse me. But I also want to do one laying down, so I just kind of will position it this way and then create insert mesh. New. Okay, so now I've just basically created a brush, which means I can draw these things out. And so that's what I'm going to do. So let's go back to this over here, bring everybody back. Where are you? Okay, and then just kind of find a good angle. And I'm going to go again, I'm on this grid that you see here. And what I'm going to do is just go in and start placing these. So if I hold the control key down, it locks it at a specific size. And that's dependent on the brush size. So I'm going to do that again. Just drag one out, hit control. And is that a good brush size? No, that's a bit too big. So I'm going to go for a draw size of maybe about 40 here. I'm just typing it in. And let's hold control down. Okay, so that's going to be about the size of it. So let's see, I think that's a good size. All right, so I think that'll work. So there's one there. And then it's kind of, and for this, what I'm going to do is I finally got a, one of these guys. I had a smaller one, but I ended up getting one of these, which is the Space Mice. I don't know if you guys can see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to kind of navigate, and it's really good for this, and just navigate in the scene to figure out where I want to drop those coffins. So, and I've got a good fit button here. Oh, I'm on the bump viewer. That's what I wanted to do. Let me just do this real quick. I want to just get the basic material, because I'd used a different material and for some reason it went away. So let's just get that back. There it is. Bam, bam. Basic material done. All right. Okay, so there's that piece on the ground, and let me change the color of it a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's a good one for it right there. Maybe I'll put one over here, like so. And oops, forgot to press Control, which I definitely want to do so I get the same size. And then W, move this up. So maybe this one's kind of laying like this. And I could use this as nanomesh. I tried that as well, but I don't really need that many of them. I just need a few. Say there's one here, and then let's go back and draw another one here. Oops. And bring it up. So I guess these are good ones to use if you want them to be laying down, but I also have one where they're standing up, and I'll do a few of those as well. So let's go around and see how this is positioned. Yeah, the Space Mouse comes in very handy specifically. I think if you're somebody new starting in ZBrush, it's very useful, and also just for like these types of positioning and kind of finding a good angle. It's really good for that. There we go. Yeah, it just gets you exactly to where you want to be looking. Right, and I just want to touch that and maybe not be so skewed. Okay, so there's that. Now I should be, let's maybe put one laying down over here. Like so. I'm going to turn wireframe off just so I can see these a little bit better. Here we go. All right. Hey, love back to India. And First Fusion House, Husky, thank you. All right. So now we've kind of put, let's see how many we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think maybe 5 or 6 would be good. So there's one there. And I'm going to switch to the other brush, which is the exact same thing. But with this one, I grow it up this way, right? But I think the size of that one's different, though. All right, I'm just going to stick to these. It's easy enough to just do this. And if I want to turn it up, I can. So maybe there's one kind of laying up against the wall this way. So I'm just basically getting, you know, kind of doing set dressing, I guess, is a good way of thinking about this. Right, so that's good, like so. And I think with these, I'm not sure. No, I think it's just one piece. So I just have to kind of lay that way. And I think this one's a little bit too close. Oops. What I did there is just masked it and then bring everybody else back and invert that mask. Oops. And go back to this guy and move it out of the way. Now I should be just separating these out because I don't really want it to, you know, basically the sarcophagus in here is kind of the main one, so we don't want it to be too close to it. So just maybe like that. And then let's do this one. Mask that, bring everybody back, invert the mask, just click anywhere on it, move it out of the way, maybe like this. Now, it'd be cool if there was like some sort of hard rigid body simulation to drop these and kind of have them find a place. And there is in Keyshot 11, and I got it. I'm going to be using it today, but I haven't really gone into the dynamics yet. But maybe for my next project, I can use the dynamics feature in it. the physics simulation, I guess it's called, which is pretty cool. Let's see. All right, so that looks okay. I don't know if it's kind of up in the air or whatever. I guess, you know, I mean, there always will be some tweaking of these guys. Excuse me. Once I get everything situated. All right, so how many do we have? We have about 5. Let's do 7. 7 is a good number. Kind of one of those magical numbers. All right, and we'll do one here. Like so. Move it down. And over. And maybe let's throw another one kind of right here. So I completely came up the other way, but it doesn't really matter. So, you know, the aliens just kind of brought these and put them here. And maybe, you know, they're just kind of a resting place. And maybe the alien race was dead or gone or whatever, but somehow this is still there somewhere in space. And this astronaut exploring this cave just stumbles onto these things. All right. I think we have enough of these guys for now, so I can go ahead and jump into Keyshot. Let me start it. Now, one of the things I did a little bit also is just going to wait a minute here till Keyshot starts up. I just want to make sure it starts up okay. I think I need to do that thing in the preferences to make it visible. In the meantime, let me just go in and load that so you guys can see it. And as soon as this ends, I can do the, here we go. High DPI support. Let me turn that off. No. I will restart in a minute, but basically I brought the astronaut in more or less into Keyshot and assigned some materials just to kind of get some ideas for materials. So this is kind of one look that First Fusion, thank you, man. You can see this after the fact. It's recorded, by the way. So if you want to watch it later, you can, if you have to go. So this is kind of what it looks like in a kind of rendered view. So these are materials that are assigned. And again, you can, you know, we're going to be seeing it from about a distance of about this. So, you know, the detail is just fine. Fine for it. And maybe if we do zoom in on the character, we're probably going to zoom in on the top part, and that part looks pretty good. So I'll just kind of stop this for a minute, and we can see here that the lights inside the helmet are working okay, and everything seems to be kind of coming together as far as the way it looks. And then if we look at it from the back, you know, this kind of oxygen tank backpack thing she's got works really well too. So I'm kind of, you know, okay with this. I could probably develop this a lot more and get a lot more details ironed out, but for the composition, I think it works great. Okay, so all right, I'm just going to restart Keyshot here. Actually, before I do that, let me do something else. Let me also load in the sarcophagus so you guys can see it. Just pretty amazing. When you leave Keyshot just for a few minutes, you get some really amazing renders. So here's that rendered as well with the materials. So again, I just basically did a test for the sarcophagus with an HDR and some materials, and got some really good results out of it. Okay, so we're going to basically see all these in action together. So that's what we're going to do next. So let me go ahead and restart Keyshot, and then we're going to send these things over. right. So just wait for Keyshot to load up. There it is. And before I do that, though, I need to establish my scale. So I'm imagining that this person is maybe about 6 feet tall. So if we stack 3 of them together, so 3 times 6, we've got about 18 maybe. Let's say this thing is about 20 feet tall, the top of the cave. So I'm going to go ahead and set the scale for this thing. So I'm going to do that in Scale Master. So I'm just going to my plugins here and go to Scale Master and go to Set Scene Scale. So it's giving me this, which is about 1/2 foot. I don't know why. For the bounding box of this, it's kind of small. Let's see. Let me choose the cave just for kicks. And set scene scale. Okay, so the cave shows up at about 0.99 feet, so about 1 foot of height, right? So what I want to do here is I want to set that to be the scale. So since it's 1 and I wanted this to be about 20, I'll just go ahead and take the size here of Y and make it 20. So now it is that, and what I want to do here is, let's try and see now. So it looks like, okay, no, that's not going to work. So right now it's about 20 feet high, and that should be okay. And I'm hoping this is going to be sent into Keyshot. Feet, resize subtool, new subtool. Okay, I think that's all. I don't really want to do that either. I think I'm good. Okay, so one other thing I want to do here is get the cave back up to its high resolution. So get it to subdivision level 7. All right, and now let's go ahead and find some good angles. So for that, I'm going to use this nifty little utility that Thomas Widdelbach recommended last time we were on, which is called Phi Matrix, PHI Matrix, which is kind of funny because he could have easily called it Phi Master, which would have been funny. All right, so the way that this works, and let me just bring it up here, is it basically overlays your image with helper things, like, you know, if you want to do rule of thirds, you can pop one of those on, but I'm just going to do a golden spiral. Where are you? And let's do one that is like that. Okay, and here it is. I'm going to bring it over. I don't know how well this thing works in multiple screens, so we're going to be we're going to be doing that experience together. So here it is. And let me change the color to yellow also so it shows better. Okay, so it's just basically a golden spiral, and I just figured out how I made that thing in the back here. I probably did it trying to rescale this. So here we go. So I'm just basically getting kind of a rough visual look of a golden spiral here. And this just kind of stays on top. And I can, I'm going to put this out of the way. It's a nifty little utility. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock it so I can't move it or do anything to it. And then I'm going to use that space mouse to like find some good compositions. So here I'm going to go back to ZBrush and find some good angles. Right, so I'm just basically, right now I'm a cameraman, I'm just going in, I'm photographing this. Again, I'm not really married to the astronaut being here, I'm just kind of trying to find a good composition, something that could kind of work with this spiral here. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mask this cave so I don't keep doing this bit of business. All right, let's do that. And okay, actually it looks even better that way. And then let's zoom in and let's use the space mouse to just kind of fly around and find a good angle to view this, right? And I kind of have to account for the wall being there. I mean, another thing I could also do is I could turn double on and also put transparency mode on. And the cave selected, let me just select sarcophagi. I should separate those out too. I will at the end. Maybe I'm just going to go to what I was doing. That seemed to work really good. All right, there it is. Turn double off. And we don't need transparency. Kind of creates a cool effect, but we don't need it. All right, so now I'm just basically going to see like this right here would be a good angle. And again, the thing that's the star of this is going to be the sarcophagus, more or less. And just, you know, a lot of kind of tweaking here, just trying to find that right angle. So this is kind of neat. This angle is kind of neat right here. But I don't really see a lot of the astronaut. And I'm not just going to do one angle. I'm going to do multiple angles. So there's one, and do my camera stuff's back here. So I'll just have to bring up the draw menu and create some cameras, which will transfer to Keyshot. Okay, so where are you? Draw, not there. Well, okay. And here we go. I'll just pop that menu there. And where are the save camera stuff? Here we go. Okay. So I think this is kind of a nice generic one. So I'm going to store a camera there. And oh, I guess we need to be in perspective mode. And also I'm going to choose a wider focal length. Let's say 80. That's good. All right, so let's say I'm looking at it this way, and this is kind of an interesting composition where it basically comes down to the astronaut and the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus is floating, but the rest of the coffins are not. Okay, because there's some sort of an energy that's driving this thing. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and store this, store cam. 1. Okay, I think I've got. Do I have any more cameras here? I think I had another camera. I've got that one. I'm going to delete this one. And then I'm going to delete this one too. And delete that one. All right, so let's go to store camera 1. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to try and find a different angle. And again, I can do multiple renders to tell this story. So here's kind of an interesting one. Get even closer. I mean, you know, if it's not for VR, this is probably the best way to kind of navigate a scene. And if you're a 3D artist starting new, this is kind of a great way to learn how to navigate. It's just so natural. Right, and let's say this is kind of another angle, just kind of culminating this way. There's like a lot of wasted space over here, but I can make this darker. And also, notice that these coffins are really kind of not showing up. So I could probably move these around. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I should do that right now. What I want to do is separate these coffins from that grid, which we don't need to export out. So let's do this. Okay, and let's. I wonder if there's a way. Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. But let's just do it this way for now. And split hidden. And then go to that split hidden. I think it's got one more piece here. This one. Shift A. Split hidden one more time. And then these two I can merge together. Okay, and I don't really need to see this. So now I just basically have the sarcophagi kind of separated out, and I can move them around. Another thing I can also do is I could split these into different parts as well, which, yeah, I think I'll keep them together for now. All right, so let's bring everybody back. Move this up too. And move this. Actually, I'll move all these guys down because I don't really need to see them. All right. You know, and usually I delete these just to make my scene lighter. I mean, it's getting pretty heavy. All right, so this is kind of an interesting angle right here. I mean, even though it's not really following this specific spiral, I could probably bring up another one. View, golden triangle, spirals. Let's do... What if it was this way? Right, and let's do one this way. So let's go back into here. No, I don't know if I like this angle of the spiral. I'm going to change that back. Let's go completely the other way and try this. And up to unlock and move it. So this is kind of using this spiral in a different form factor. Oops. I'm on the move brush, so if I touch anything else, it's going to move it. Let's move it here, and then this thing's kind of touchy. I guess you got to grab it by, here we go. All right, and just put it there and resize it to something like that. Too big. Does it have undos? It does not. I don't know why it's either wanting to be really big or really small. I'm going to go very, very slowly here and let go. Okay, here we go. Okay, and let's lock that, and then let's use the space mouse again to find a good angle. Usually I do this in VR too sometimes, just kind of load a decimated version of this into either Adobe Medium or something like that, and just kind of try and find a good angle. I'm going to let it save just for kicks. Wow, everybody's being so quiet today. Got a lot of people on. A lot of quiet people. All right. It is going to take a little bit longer to save just because we've got pretty heavy. Sarcophagus is pretty heavy. The cave is pretty heavy, and the person is pretty heavy too. All right. Oh, 5 a.m. on Saturday. Whoa. Wow, that's pretty pretty nice that you're up at that hour on a Saturday. Although 5 a.m. isn't that early. Like if you really want to be hero, you should say like it's 3 a.m. or 4:30 or 3:30. That's like the impossible times. 5 a.m. A lot of people wake up at 5 a.m. So let's see. Are you the same person? No, you are not. All right, here we go. Finally, save is done. what I really like about the Space NAS too is that it's got like a fit button, and you just hit that and it just fits it on your screen. Kind of like pressing F, but a different view. So another good thing to do is maybe view it from this angle. I'm going to take off this golden triangle for now and just eyeball it for now, and then once I get into some good looks, then I'll bring it back. But I can also maybe do a thing where I'm kind of, the astronaut is the focus, which is proving pretty hard to do because the sarcophagus is right in the smack in the face of it. So all right, no worries. I think I'm going to separate these out. So here I'm just going to go to split two parts. Okay. All right, so now that they're split to parts, I can individually turn them on and off. All right, so this one is the one that we want to hide, and it's this one right here, so I'm just going to hide it. Okay, so now basically have better angle to look at the guy or the gal, and see if I can find a good angle this way. All right, I think that's a good one right there. So let me store the camera. Right, and then I kind of like to have one looking this way. And I'm probably not going to, use these cameras in Keyshot. I'm probably going to find different looks there, but I'm just kind of getting an idea. Just playing around with this here in ZBrush just to kind of get some ideas. All right. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to divide up the cave into separate pieces. So they're kind of, I can just, and it does have subtools, right? So if I go to it, let's bring this sarcophagus back. If I go to the cave, it does have subtools. So as soon as it loads up, turn perspective off here, turn this on. So you can see I do have some subtools on it. So each one of the columns is a subtool. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this up. So I'm going to go down to the lowest subdivision level, and I'm going to do a group split on it. And then I'm probably going to split it up some more. So I have a left side and a right side. And I do have the two columns as different groups, so I'm going to do a group split here. Okay. So what I'm going to get is I'm going to get four different, 4 different pieces. And then I'm also going to do one, I'm also going to, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so here are the 4 pieces. There's that one, there's this one, and this one. So I can hide and show these as needed. And Keyshots, and I probably will need different ones too, but these will work for now. All right, so now I'm basically happy with all of this. I'm going to send it all to Keyshot and start working in Keyshot. So I've got this astronaut here as well as kind of a smaller version of it. And one other thing I wanted to do, I don't know where the gizmo is. Let's just bring it here, center it. I could have another, I could have the astronaut be over here, which is where I had it before, and that looked pretty good. So I can have the astronaut kind of be in this type of a position as well as an option. Right, so now I'm basically just kind of putting low resolution versions of that person over here, like so. I don't know if my groups are going to get sent into Keyshot. I haven't tested that out. And maybe like this. And the thing is, I can adjust the ground to accommodate. let me just make sure. Yeah, subdivision levels came across. Good. All right, so here there's another astronaut looking at it this way. So that's another possibility for a composition. And I could do one more. So I'm just using Control to drag off a copy. And I want to see what it would look like if there was another astronaut over here. And again, all these are angles I can try and do based on what I want to have as my final composition. So these are just some ideas, and I'm just going to be happy with this and send it to Keyshot. And then whichever place I want the astronaut to be, what I'll do is, and I'm gonna do a split mask here, just to have these be separated out. And then if I find, you know, and these are a lot lighter, right? They don't have as much resolution, these proxy models. So I can always, you know, once I find a good place for her, I can replace her with the full detailed sculpted version. And I could probably use one of these as a shadow caster or something like that. All right, I think we're good. I think we're ready to go into Keyshot. Okay, yeah, the spiral, I mean, so it does, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't work well. I mean, you know, I could just move things around, but it's good to have. Another thing I use a lot is rule of thirds for composition. So let me pop one of those on. That could work better here. Let's see, where are you? Rule of thirds. There we go. All right, so rule of thirds actually works. I usually use that a lot more than I do. Is it locked? It is. I use that a lot more than I use the spiral. Spiral's kind of fun. Basically, this is what I use. And Keyshot has one of these built in, but ZBrush does not. So that's where this tool comes in handy. So if I did one of these guys and did an aspect ratio of, should bring this over here. I think it does have a thing where you can specify the aspect. Here we go. Let's do 16:9. So that's like a movie. All right, so there's that. And I did, didn't I? Too funny. Yeah, BR Hacker, you're mentioning to have that sarcophagus at yeah, I mean, you can try, that's the great thing about this, is you can try all sorts of different things. You can try that look. And once we get into Keyshot, you know, we can do it even more. So let me just bring up the rule of thirds again. Choose yellow as the color. And there we go. Didn't take the yellow. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, so if we have it on the rule of thirds, that kind of can give us some good angles too. So let's try some of those as well before going over. I was going to do this anyway. I forgot. So thanks for reminding me. All right, so there's that. And then let's change the aspect ratio here to 69. Okay. That's a bit too big. Okay, let's lock it in. All right, so now again, let's just say the sarcophagus. Let's fit this in. Let's see, we put her kind of on this line, and then get the sarcophagus to be over here. But then we've got that column, we got this column in the way, so I can hide it. Right, so that looks good. Yeah, this is so much easier to do it this way than it is to do it with, you know, with a tablet or even with a mouse, because you can kind of very subtly move it like you're moving a camera just to get like a really good angle. All right, so that's a good one. Let's store a camera here as well. Oh, perspective is off. No worries. Bam. Which will even make it look better. Then just adjust this a little bit, like so. Yeah, the thing I really like about the Space Mouse is like the subtlety of the motion. You can get really, really subtle. And then this part of the cave you want. I can see if I can hide this part of the cave. Nope, I do need it. Okay. So I might need to kind of come back and forth between Keyshot and ZBrush and Keyshot to get rid of some things. But I'm going to store another cam here. Let's call this cam 3. Okay, so I kind of have a little bit of ideas. I think I'm good enough here to get into Keyshot. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah. Storytelling and cinematography, another kind of fun thing I like to do. All right, so now I think I've got all the parts that I need. Let me pop this. I don't know, I think I just need one astronaut to send to Keyshot. I'm going to send this whole thing to Keyshot now. So let's go ahead and turn that on. It's on. And let's make sure it's not paused, which it isn't. And let's go ahead and send it. All right, so one of the things I really like about the Keyshot bridge is it just does this pretty fast, and then it's done. So I'll just have to wait a few minutes here, and it will be in Keyshot. It's bringing all the things in. Time to get a swig of tea. So this is kind of one of the things that I really like to do with Keyshot is cinematography. And you know, for concept design, you know, I don't just do an image. I can do a whole scene and then present it from different angles. I think this is the outside cave. Nope. I was going to spend some time renaming everything here, but I didn't get a chance. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of trial and error. Oh, here we go. That was something. Okay, so now I've got a hole this way. And what's really neat is I can kind of see if it has a good camera angle for anything. So I can maybe go in this way. Whoa. So I'm going to put this in performance mode just because it'll be more responsive and faster. I don't really need to see the right render. Let me just do this. Cancel. And right now, Keyshot has this at a square aspect ratio. Let me change that real quick. Presets, portrait, landscape. Let's do, can we do that? I think that'll work. Yeah, let's just do that aspect ratio. Okay. Just want to get a kind of the camera to be in the front. Oh, before I do that, let me see kind of what the, before I do any of this, let me kind of set the scene here. I'm going to pick this whole thing and go into the size. So it's about 9. So again, I need to go in here and multiply it by 20. And I need to set the scene units to feet. Should do metric, but hey. All right, let's go to environment here, bump that up to 100 feet. And now I can, and oh, one last thing is let me pop this thing onto the ground. Here we go. And we don't really need a ground plane, so let me get rid of that as well. All right, so here we are in Keyshot, and back to starting to hide some of these cave parts. So is that a cave part? No. Now the nice thing about Keyshot is that if you hover over the thing for a minute, it kind of gives you a 3D view of it, like that. So here's a part of a cave I can hide. Here is another part of a cave I can hide. What's this one? Part of a cave. All right, so the first 4 ones. Okay, so now I can just kind of start to find a good kind of angle in Keyshot. I don't know why, but this guy, this astronaut came in all really dark. All right, another thing I should also do here is, before I forget, let's turn these back on. That thing, I want to make sure this is facing the front. Okay, here we go. Now, just looking at it this way, I have no idea the orientation, but I guess there's an X-ray material here. Let me, for now, let me just assign that to the cave, just so we can see through it. Here we go. Let's try for the darker one. There. That works. And I'm going to assign that to this piece as well. Yes, I want to link them. This piece. Yep, I do want to link them. And this piece as well. I think I didn't get to it. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. Yes. Okay, so now I basically have a similar thing that I did before. I'm going to go to my front camera and then start using the space mouse to very subtly find some good angles. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did in ZBrush, where I'm going to add some camera angles. Okay, so I just want to make sure that my image is, I wonder if there's a 16:9 portrait. 9:16, nope. What, landscape 9:16:9, there we go. Okay, that's good, but I want to be a little bit closer, so so let's keep this, it's locked in, so let's go to 1000 pixels. That's okay. And I mean, when I do my render, it'll be at a higher resolution, but I think this is good. So I'm just going to do a 16:9 kind of 1080p or 4K kind of aspect ratio. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this person and why it's so dark. All right, so that's a good camera angle. And the best way to the best way I like to set camera angles in Keyshot is just hit the screenshot. It'll save a copy of it, and also it will save a camera. So here, there's a camera that it just said Untitled 1. And then I can start moving around, try and find a different angle. And again, I'm not really worried about the cave because I can remove this column or move it somewhere else. Have it just be a silhouette or something like that. I'm just trying to find another really good angle. Thing is, the sarcophagus looks really good head on, but it also really looks good this way. And I can try a Dutch angle here, just kind of go for something kind of wilder. Let me go back to front. I'm kind of really, I need to be really subtle. This Space Mass is new, so I'm kind of still getting used to it. But it's not really difficult. It's just a matter of getting your muscle memory to kind of adapt to it. I think that's a really good angle right there. And again, this astronaut's not going to be there, so we can just hide it for now. I think I'm going to do that. Click on it. Nope, that's not it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hide the cave so I can select this person so I know which one it is. It's this one, and then I'll bring the cave back. Eventually I'll organize these and rename them and do all that good stuff, but for now I think we're good enough. So this kind of is going to look like that. That's a good angle, so let's save a screenshot. So now I have a screenshot of it, so I have kind of an image, like a thumbnail, but I also have the camera stored. And let me make sure the camera I'm using is 80mm. Okay, good. Can also do a top view. I can probably change the sensitivity of the Space Mouse if I'm kind of getting too, but I just need to be gentle with it. And then I can get, okay, so this is a really great angle here. All I need to do is just zoom in. I'm just going to do that with this. Like so. And I can do some minor tweaks here with the camera controls. And then just kind of, here we go. That's a great angle, and it probably won't be, I won't see these side things, but like the juxtaposition of both of them is a good one. So I'll do another screenshot. Okay, so all this is coming along nicely. At this point, I'm going to kind of postpone doing more of this type of work, and then just go in here and start texturing or adding materials to the different parts. So what's this? Are these? Good, they are the sarcophagi, so I'm just going to hide these guys. What was that? Okay, so now I just basically have the sarcophagus and the astronaut. So let's do the, let's see if I can find which one is which. I can hide them. Which one's this? Oh. All right, close. I don't know what this one was. Oh, it's the visor. I'm going to move that up. No, I don't want to break the live linking, so let's leave that because I might want to come. I might want to come back and forth. So let's see, what's this one? Okay, so it seems like the lower ones are the astronaut. Hopefully, it's not all intermixed. If it is, that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. What part is that? Okay, yeah, good. It's not. All right, so let's hide the sarcophagus first because it's less parts. And we'll just do the astronaut first. Okay, there we are. And I don't know why, but it's got this weird black material. I'm just going to go to camera, front. Let's get that zoomed in. And let's back out. And that's kind of a good angle right there. All right, so I'm kind of hoping that this kept all the different materials separately. Like, again, I don't know why it's coming in all black like this, but I guess a good way to test it is just to assign a material. So I'm just going to go and find a rubber material. And just go ahead and just choose this black rubber for now. Okay, here we go. Oh no, this is not good. So it's treating all of this as one material, which clearly is not the case in ZBrush, is it? No, it's not. So I'm going to try to do this a different way. I don't know why it's not doing that. So right now, it's basically treating the entire object here, the entire suit, as one material. So I don't know if it didn't bring the materials in, but another way, this is fine. So I'm just going to basically do a new project here, discard this. And then in ZBrush, I actually have the astronaut separately, which I think is this one right here. I have the astronaut in T-pose, but I also have the astronaut in more of the action pose. So here's the astronaut in the action pose, and I can just send this to Keyshot, which is what I'm going to do. And hopefully this comes in with all the different materials. And then I'll just render that, save it off, and then I can just import it in later. Actually, that would make it even better because it'll put it in a folder for me. I might even do the same thing with the sarcophagus. And then just bring the rest of the cave pieces in. That might be a better way to go. Okay. Here we are. Moment of truth. Oh man, why is it all coming in this way? I don't understand. Okay, let's see. Invalid index. I cannot load texture. Okay, let me close this. Okay, apparently some weird thing has happened here where it's not treating this the right way. But I'm going to try and do something here. One of the things that could be a problem is maybe there might be some things that have the same name. So I'm going to try and rename everything with the Subtool Master, see if that solves the problem. Subtool Master, and what we want to do is we want to do visible. Correct duplicate subtool names, click OK. And this will just go in through and make sure that there isn't anything that's named the same. Man, it'll suck if it doesn't take the different, because this is one piece, but it's got different subtools on it. The A pose worked well, but I didn't really test it with this one. It should work. Okay. All right, let's try it again. No. What's going on with the materials? Okay. Public document, ZBrush data. Very strange. Okay. Like, let me just try and see if, yeah, see, it's just going to be one material. And I have clearly 3 or 4 materials on this suit. So that's not going to work. It's kind of a cool look, though. All right. Should I just put this in performance mode? And let's see what's going on here. I wonder if there's a way I can go to the suit itself. Okay, so we can see here I've got different materials, but somehow it's not going across. And a lot of the materials in a lot of the model are not going across. So I don't know if it's because there's materials assigned to this that are not loaded, or what's going on. Well, let me choose that one of the materials that I know I have in there. Load that in, see if that fixes it. Right, so I've got the material in now, and I've got poly paint on all of these guys, so it should work just fine. I mean, the only thing that was different is that this, yeah, I don't really care about all the things on top, but let me see if this works now. And the only part that I have that on are the boots and the suit. Everything else is just one material. So let's see what happened. New, discard, and BPR. If it comes through, then I'm going to try to reassign materials, new materials, and see if that'll work. So moment of truth. Nope, same stuff. I'm just curious to see if, let me try something here. Glass, where are you? Yeah, I don't know what these issues are. Eyelashes used by, okay. That works okay. And that works okay. But all this is just treated as one material. It keeps giving me this weird error. All right. So I think the thing to do is to, I'm going to try to just reassign the materials in ZBrush and see if that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to let's go to that suit, solo it out. Yeah, in essence, this is the only one that needs that fix. And let me see something here. I don't have different polygroups assigned to the different materials. I wonder if, let me try something here. Okay, let's see, some questions. Are there other episodes uploaded? Yeah, all of them are. This is the 12th one. And all of the ones before now are uploaded. They're on YouTube and they're also on ZBrush Live. So to watch them, you can just go to here to YouTube, go to videos, of course, go to the ZBrush channel. Still called Pixelogic ZBrush Videos. And here we are live. And if you just scroll down, here is the one that I did before this one. So this is episode 11. And then you keep scrolling down and then you can find the other ones. You can always kind of type my name here, and you can filter it that way. But another way to do it, a better way to do it actually, is just go to ZBrush Live. So pixlogic.com/ZBrush Live, and then go to presenters, and find me. I'm down here somewhere. Oh, here I am. Okay, and if you scroll down, there are all the episodes. They should be in order here. They still haven't done them. I think they did make some changes, but they will be listed from episode 1 all the way to 12. So I'm pretty sure they'll do that soon. But yeah, you can find them on YouTube as well. I'm sure that, I don't know if they're stored on Twitch or if they're kept on Twitch, and I don't know if they're kept on Facebook either. All right, so now that we did this, I just basically copied and pasted this just kind of as a, you know, random thing to see if it actually worked. So let's see if it does. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to reassign the materials to those areas. So let's see, Keyshot, did you do it? No, just came in as just this black thing again. I don't know what's going on. No. Yeah, it still has them all as one material. That is so weird. Okay, so somehow when I took this out into, when we did our kind of our posing, somehow something got mixed up. So no worries. It's not the first time something unexpected has happened. Just have to figure out a good way to fix it. No, it's Keyshot, Leo. All right, so how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. Okay, I'm just going to try doing it this way, see if that works. So adjust colors, and I'm just going to mask the different areas. So I'm going to mask this one. I'm going to mask this one. Okay, so these are masked. And so I think I've got 3 or 4, I have 4 materials on here. So let me mask this one too. Okay, so now if I click OK, then all those should be masked. And then let me have mRGB on, and I'll just go find, let's say I just do fast shader and fill object. Solo this out. Okay, so did it do it? Or is everything masked? Because I've got one material here, and let's go for something really. Nope, the whole thing is masked. What's going on here? Let's go to adjust colors again. Take this one. Okay, it's on. Let's just see if this works. Okay. Fill object. Let me try this. Okay, you are masked. Okay. Okay. Yeah, somehow ZBrush does not realize that there's color applied to this thing. It's still, ZBrush even sees it as one material. So strange. Let's see if there's anything I can do with tolerance. Nope. See, it's just on and off. That is so strange. Okay. So I can't do it with color. I can't do it with polygroup. A little bit stumped here. Yeah, no, it does have poly paint on it, but somehow it's just not registering. Let me try something here. No, the normals are fine. So why is it going crazy? Okay. Yeah, it somehow doesn't even see the color, let alone the material. Whoa, what is that? Yeah, something really funky has happened to this when it went out and came back in. No problem. Let's see. How can I solve this? Can't separate it out. Let's see. I'm going to try something here. Polygroups from Polypaint. Let's see if this works. I mean, I have polygroups on here, but I don't really need them anymore. So I'm just going to just do them all as one polygroup. It did. So weird. Like something is just completely not recognizing the poly paint. It's very, very odd. I mean, I do see it here. I can turn it on and off. It is visible, but somehow it is not registered. And let me try this kind of weird thing. I don't think it's going to fix it, but why not? Do a check. Okay, no, it's fine. Fix it for good measure. All right. I don't want to repaint this. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Actually, what if I try to paint something, like see if anything... All right, so that's working. All right, I got somebody saying something in, looks like a different language. Let me do a translate of that. It's probably saying hi, but let's just make sure. Oh, yeah, thank you. All right, so I don't know how to fix this issue where it's not recognizing the poly paint or the materials on here. I mean, I painstaking, you know, the APOS one worked just fine, but for some reason, when we took this out to FBX and brought it back in, it didn't register the colors. And I should have tested this before the stream, but I didn't, so I'm going to have to figure out how to solve it live. So I know if I save this as a tool, it's not going to save the poly. Maybe it will. Let me try it. Might as well. All right, so I'm just going to go in here and save this as a tool. Actually, I should be able to do it this way. Copy tool. paste it. Let me just make a copy of it. Maybe somehow in that process something gets registered correctly. Okay, so I've got two of these guys. Here's the new one. Okay, and let's see if the new one has that same issue. Let's shoot it over to Keyshot. Yeah. I wonder if it's working, but it's not working because I'm assigning a key, material to it in. I do have this. I don't have the suit separated, yes, but I don't have it separated into the different materials. The reason that is because I painted it with different materials just so I could do what I'm trying to do now. But what's happening is that for some reason it's sending them into Keyshot as just one material. So here, notice that it's just treating this completely as one material. And I'll show you how the other one works. So if I go to, I guess I don't really need this extra one that I created, delete all. Yes. But notice here, if I go to this other subtool, which is the Apose, which is this one, right? So this is the exact same character, and I've painted the suit with all the different materials. If I send this one over to Keyshot, and let me make sure, let me just clear this out here, discard, and BPR. We're almost done with time too, so I guess I'm going to do another episode of this. I'll try to figure out this problem. But I just wanted to kind of show you how this is a completely different story. So see now how it comes in different colors? This is what needs to happen. It needs to come in, and it needs to look like this so that I can drag and drop different materials onto it and then have it change. So here, for example, let's say I'm just going to pick a rubber material here. Let me go back up to materials. All right, so let's say I pick rubber material here, and then I go into the editing that material. And let's say I want a different color rubber here. Maybe pink is just too much. Let's go for like a dark gray. Okay, so you notice that just this part became that, and then let's say I want this to be black rubber. I don't want to link them together. So you can see, even though it's the same part here, I can assign different materials to different portions of it, and it works fine. However, this one other version of this figure that we exported out somehow came in, and it's treating this entire suit as one material. And in Keyshot, it's giving me a weird error. So I'm going to try this one more time. And if I can't figure it out, that's okay. I'll have to, I'll figure it out, and we'll do one more, I guess, stream on this same character. Yeah, so can't load texture, but it's not a texture though, which is weird. I wonder if there's a buffer or something I can clear out. Let me try that. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but it doesn't hurt. Preferences, go Z. So this is the troubleshooting and not getting the results episode. Okay, so let me go over here to go Z. Where are you? Here we are. And clear cache files. Okay. I don't think this was the issue, but might as well do that. And then let's see if there's anything in Keyshot here in the there's an option in here, kind of going into uncharted territory here under render. So external render, Keyshot. Okay, that's fine. Auto merge, groups by materials. Let me try this. Maybe this was the issue. Maybe this needs to be on. Let's try it this way. If this works, I'll continue on, because I can get this done tonight. It's just whenever you hit a snag like this, it's kind of, no, that didn't do it. Let me see here. Yeah, no. That's so weird. I think it's treating all of this as one material, and they're coming in kind of as this weird material too. Actually, I just got another idea. Let's see if this works. So let's send this over one more time. It's so weird. I didn't really test this before I did the stream, thinking, you know, I've done it a million times, it should work. But of course, this one time, it's going to be difficult. All right, let me see if this trick works. Last kind of ditch effort to see if I can get this to work. And I'm going to go to plastics here, just hard plastics. And I'm going to try and drag these into the different materials and see if I get that to work. No. No. And click on that. Edit material. Yeah, it's just one material here. Right? So let me see where that material is. Because it does list a bunch of materials, but where is this one? ZMat 47. It's not even listed here. Oh, here it is, 47. Yeah, I think it's just one material. No. Nope, that's that. But this one, I'm just basically dragging materials into all these different ones here and not getting the results that I want. So something is really, really broken in the way this came through. All right, so I'll have to figure this out for the next stream, and hopefully it will be an easy thing to do, and I won't have to repaint the entire materials back onto the model. But yeah, something's really, really strange here with the way that this is coming across. No, yeah, this is really, really strange. Because it's coming in and everything is taking on that material. I could try that too. That's another idea. Instead of using fast shader here, just choose. Actually, I wonder what this will show up as if I do flat color. Yeah, it just shows up as one. But let me do that. I mean, do basic material here. I know, yeah. I mean, I'll kind of show that other version of it that I was working on and give you guys an idea of what I was going to do, which would have been a lot of fun. But I guess we're not going to have that joy today. But I'm going to try this one other thing here. Let's see if that works. So this kind of looks cool. Kind of looks like a toy. Try this way and BPR. No, it did the same thing. Yeah, it's really weird. When I drag this material over to here, all the materials take on that that characteristic. And they're not linked in any way, shape, or form. So it should just come up as different materials. And I'm getting some really fun kind of results here, but not what I want. But it's giving me some good ideas for the costume. All right. I guess the thing to do is just to bring up the one that is working and just play on that for a little bit, and then we'll do the rest next time. Come dialog. Let's load this back in. Yeah, so basically the end of the game would have been, you know, to get that model to have this type of a look to it. So basically I just dragged some materials over, you know, just choose glass for the visor, and then is this on denoise? It is. So choose a glass for the visor, and then I've got lights inside here that are lit up, so you can kind of see that there's a little bit of light outside. And then just put some decals on and just drag and drop materials to all these different parts. But here I can just, you know, maybe I can look up some different colorways for this. So let's go ahead and edit this material and maybe choose a lighter color for it. Or maybe a darker color, but maybe with some different hue to it. Maybe more saturation. Like a darker green. I don't want this to be more of an astronaut. I want it to be more of a scientific and not military. So maybe choose some sort of an orange, a dark orange. I mean, it's not like a luxury type of astronaut. It's more like just a, you know, kind of maybe a mining crew or somebody that goes in there. So you can see that this is really working out well. And then maybe I'll edit this material. And I've applied a decal to this material, so I can leave the decal there. I just might want to change the color of it. Also to some sort of maybe an orange. Maybe a darker orange. Like that. So yeah, I mean that basically, you know, I was just going to do this exact same thing that I'm doing. The decals are a lot of fun too. Maybe I'll show you guys how to do that, and then we'll call it a night. I'm really bummed that this did not work out, and I will troubleshoot it and I will figure out what happened and let you guys know on the next episode. Okay, so let me turn this denoise off. And let's say I want to do some more decals on this specific costume. It's just very simple. You just find the decals in a folder, and I have them in a folder here somewhere. And turn the preview on. And you can buy these on. You can buy these at ArtStation, or there's a bunch of different ones available. And you just drag them on here, and you just pick what they're going to go onto. So here I'm just going to say add label. There it is, and then you just move it to where you want it to go. You resize it. I don't know where this got added. Oh, it's on the bottom one. That's why. I'm like, why can't I see it? No worries. Resize it. I want to move it. Translate as well. Here we go. So, I guess it's falling on the same area that I had before, which is fine. I can just move it down maybe to don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to... There we go. Actually, it's not bad right there. Okay, and this label is coming in. If I do a edit of the material here, graph. So this is coming in. It's right there. It's coming into this plastic material, which is being added as another label. If I don't want it to be glossy, I can just dump down its roughness. Let's see here. Did that help? I think I'm choosing the wrong one here. Yep, no, this one. And let's add the roughness so it's not as glossy. And let's change the refractive index as well. Am I on the right one? Okay, so this is basically the surface color, and then I've got this decal coming in. I'm just going to nix this decal, bring something else in. Let's choose, let's see. These are cool. I'll just use this JPL one. There it is. Red as well. So this comes into the diffuse. And let's make sure here we got all the characteristics of it. So there's that label coming in. And I can adjust the size and all that stuff. I just want to make sure it doesn't repeat. Somehow it comes in as a default as repeating. And I can, I think there's a move option here somewhere. Move texture, there it is. And I want that texture to be, where is the, here it is. I think it's still on this one, which is not the one I want it to be on. Yeah, it's on this one. But that's cool. I can, change its size by, let's go to 50, that's bigger, let's go to 20, it's even bigger. How about 100? There we go, 20, 150. Right. So let's see, I'm just going to move this up to here. I think I already have stuff here, so maybe not put it on that one. And I don't need this one either. We're good. I'm going to put it on this other area. So let me just pick a different, pick this one, and I want to put it on this top part right here. Add label, there it is. And that's what I wanted. Make it smaller. Move it down to here. Even smaller than that. There we go. All right, so, and I'm going to edit, oops. Okay, and if I want to edit that material itself, just material graph, there it is. And what I want to do is go into this plastic that's going into the label and increase its roughness so it's not so shiny. There it is. That's looking good. And play around with the refractive index a little bit and maybe play with the positioning just a little bit to put it there. All right, and there it is. So now I've basically got a decal on it. And it's always good to do these in performance mode, but I'm just doing it kind of this way. Oh, is it mirrored? It is mirrored, isn't it? No, it's fine, JPL, that's right. It's good. And I can always move it again, just if I don't like where it went. I think that's a good angle for it right there. Maybe rotate it a little bit this way. You know, infinite tweaking. But yeah, so basically just kind of create an astronaut, you know, assign the materials, and instead of it being in this pose, it would be in the pose that it was in. Then do a similar thing with the sarcophagus, and then just kind of finish it off. So I guess what we'll do is we'll do that in the next stream. Yeah, scared of salad. Thank you very much. I think it's some weird thing where the material got mixed up when I brought it back in, or when I did the posing. So I think I've got a couple of options. One of them is to maybe do a recoloring of the materials, which is really, I mean, it's time consuming, but it's not horrendous. So I'll try that first, and if that works, then we're good to go. And if that doesn't work, then I mean, I think that should work. I think if I just kind of reassign a material to it and I can do an experiment of it, I guess, later on. But yeah, it should be pretty simple. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out as a character, and I mean, considering that it was just started out from doing photo bashing of alphas and images onto the character, we got a pretty compelling looking astronaut here. I'm really happy with the result. I just want to finish it in the composition, and this process here is kind of the last step, and I think I will be able to do it as soon as I have that. Okay, Shiva the Destroyer, you're saying I've got 2 of the same 40 materials. That's it. So when I bring this in, it's finding 2 materials with the same name. Is that what you're saying? All right, let's try it. I'm okay with this variant, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'll probably do another one at some point. New, discard. Wow, look at all this garbage. All right, so let's do this. All right, so let's try this one more time. I think it'd be hysterical if it like all of a sudden decides to work. Like all of a sudden it goes like, oh no, you know, just kidding. All right, so here we go. Now if I go to the materials here, you're saying there were 2 of the same one. Looks like there's a bunch of materials, which is how it should be. But this is one. So you're saying I have 2 of those. ZMAT, seen the second one when you scroll down. Okay. Right, so let's see here if I find another one. 043. Yes. Are these the same? Let me see if, let me look at them by name. So this one is 43, and then there's this big, huge number, and then the first one. Yeah, they're 2 43s, but the second number, I think, is it different? No, it's the same. So what's that about? Huh. I think you might have something here. Let me try doing this. Maybe this will do it. Okay, let me go to that material and go to its textures and upgrade to new node. EXR, what the hell? Okay, that's fine. And let's see if that made a difference. Nope. Okay. What if I delete this material? Let's see if that does anything. Rename. No. Can I rename this lot? Can I delete this last one? Oh, let me try renaming it. Alright, so that's weird. So if I drag a material to this, it's that. And if I drag something to this, that's just the visor. Very strange. So this first one, oh, where'd it go? Oh, so the first one of those is the visor, and then the second one is the body. Yeah, something really kind of got screwy with the materials on this guy. So I'll just have to troubleshoot it. I will. I'll figure out what's wrong with it, and next stream we will, I guess, work on this one more time. It has to be lucky 13, and then we'll figure it out then. All right, so we are at time. Hopefully we had some fun things that we did. We did some good compositional type of things, but maybe this character got some sort of a thing done to her with the sarcophagus, and she needs to go back and figure out how to get her textures back. All right. Let me try that as well. The holding Alt thing. No, it doesn't really matter. It's still, when I do that, it adds the material, but somehow the poly paint is getting screwed up when it's coming through. But that's a good kind of thing to try too. All of these were really good kind of suggestions, and you can see sometimes things go really well, and sometimes you have challenges and you have to figure what's going on. So I don't want to do that. I mean, I tried to do quite a bit of it on the stream, but I'd rather not do that on the stream and just kind of have more of a regular flow. But like I said, these kinds of things happen. I'll figure it out, and I'll let you know. Record my troubleshooting. Well, I mean, my troubleshooting is going to be pretty simple. The first thing I'm going to try, I guess I'll stay a couple of minutes and see if this works. The first thing I was going to try is I just go to here, find a new material. So I'm going to go ahead and pick, I don't know. I'll pick soft plastic here. Sure, I'll do that. And then I'm going to pick mRGB and fill the suit with that. Okay. Oh. Is there a texture applied to this? No. So why? Here's an interesting thing. So I just basically dragged, I just filled this with one color, and it got filled. I've got mRGB on, fill object, and it's still retaining that paint. That is so weird. Yeah, something's really, really interesting. Really interesting problem to solve here. I am intrigued. Yeah, it should be basically this is what I should get, but I'm not getting that. I'm still getting the color in there. So somehow the poly paint is in there. Is anything masked? No. Try this one more time. Fill object. I've got mRGB on. I've got this material. I've got this color. It should fill it. Is the RGB intensities there? All right. Let's see. I will look this up. Thanks for sending me that link. I will definitely look up what that is. Yeah, I'll do it now too. Let's see if okay. Try deleting it. Try deleting what? Do what with the material graph? Yeah, I don't know. Basically, the way it comes in before is, yeah, but this right here in ZBrush, this is kind of funky. I mean, because, if I pick a material here, it should, if I've got mRGB on and a color on, and I do fill object, it should fill with that material. But some reason this is still coming up. I don't have a texture map, right? So there's no texture. What if I do choose a texture? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, texture off. But somehow there is information in there, and it is polypaint information. Because if I turn polypaint off, it's gone. But for some reason, when I go here to adjust colors and pick that it's picking the whole thing up. So for some reason, it thinks all of it is one material. So yeah, there's some really interesting, this is a really interesting problem to figure out. I will figure it out, and I will have it hopefully done by the next stream. I might even do a stream in between if I need to, but I'll figure it out. Well, with that, I will bid you all a good night, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. And I guess peace.